Ladies and gentlemen, gather around the campfire once again. Papa Leon's got a story to tell. And this story is for all my parents out there, because I know whether if you're a single parent or if you have a nice structural family household, you have to run into the issue of preparing your child for school. You have to get them dressed, you have to wake them up, you have to drive them or walk them to the corner so that they can take the bus. You make sure that their lunch is packed. You do all the things necessary to make sure that they end up in school safe and sound so that they can learn how to read, they can learn how to write, they can learn how to do math, but they can't learn how to do taxes because fuck the school system. They're going to be fucked when they become an adult, but that's besides the point. You do all these things and you are a good parent, but one day you get a phone call that you have to come get your child because we're potentially suspending them from school, and you're concerned. You're wondering what your child did. So you show up, you're a little bit mad, but you're also a little bit concerned because what scenario possibly could get your child suspended? And you find out that he was essentially finger banging.
The parent of a Jefferson County 6-year-old is trying to get justice for his child after he says he was suspended from school for playing with another student and pointing their fingers like a gun.
Our Taylor Pollock on your side, talking with the parent and the school system to get answers. So Taylor, what's the deal here?
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Brittany, according to the parent, it was a simple game of cops and robbers, and it's a situation that parent believes could have been handled differently. That father telling me that now his child, a first grader, has a permanent mark on his record.
Jared Belcher says he nor his 6-year-old have had any issues with Jefferson County school system until last Friday when he got a call from his son's school asking for him to be picked up because he had been suspended.
I sat down and I asked her, I said, "Can you tell me what happened?" And she proceeds to tell me that my son and another boy, they were playing with each other, playing cops and robbers, and using their index finger as a gun.
Belcher's son was given a Class 3 violation, which is also given to students who bring weapons to school. Belcher was told his son would be barred from school grounds until a hearing could be held.
I said, okay, did he threaten anyone? No. Was there any violence? No. Was there any indication of a current or future threat? No. So I said, well, this kind of seems pretty benign to me. It sounds like two first graders playing. And she said it was, but in this climate, this day and age, we have to take all incidents very seriously.
The assistant principal told Belcher that what his son did was outlined in the Jefferson County Student Handbook as a violation, but after looking through it himself, Belcher says he couldn't find anything that was similar to what his son did and asked for more clarification.
Somehow, maybe another student could not have realized they were playing and gotten scared. She calls me back and says, after consideration, we have decided to drop it to a level 2.
Belcher says he believes the situation should have been handled differently.
What they should have done was pulled him to the side and said, hey, if this is not appropriate at school, and that should have solved it. Or they could have called me and I would have handled it. What I would like is for this incident to be removed from his record. You know, he doesn't deserve to be branded as potentially violent for playing cops and robbers.
And we did receive a statement from the Jefferson County school system saying in part, quote, after further review of the circumstances, it was determined that no further action other than a discussion with the student was needed, end quote. And the statement did go on to say that the school system stands ready to meet with the parent to discuss any further concerns.
And this is the best part. This is not even the first time something like this has even happened, where a child is facing a punishment for doing something resemblant of having a gun.
A 4-year-old girl in kindergarten gets suspended from school because of this right here, a stick that looks like a gun. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm Steve Daniels.
And I'm Anna Laurel. The little girl's mother reached out to us calling the suspension outrageous. But school officials say the student threatened to shoot and kill fellow students, and the punishment fits. Morgan Norwood is live in Hoke County with this exclusive story. Morgan?
Yeah, good evening, Anna. Well, Caitlin Miller found the stick on this playground, and to her, it was the perfect prop for the game that she was playing with her friends. But for her mom, it's something that she can't understand. She doesn't know why anyone could be threatened by a 5-year-old with a stick.
It's a gun. It's a fake gun I was using.
This fake gun causing a real problem for one Hoke County mom.
One minute she's playing with her friends, and the next her teachers are dragging her to the principal's office. She's confused.
Nobody explained anything to her.
5-year-old Caitlin Miller returned to school Tuesday after being sent home with this note accusing the kindergartner of threatening to kill her classmates. But to Caitlin, she was simply playing her favorite game with her two best friends.
I was playing with my two friends, Chloe and Datlin. Chloe was the queen, and Datlin was the princess. I was the guard, and Datlin sued him, and he told Tisha on me.
We reached out to Hope County Schools for clarification on the reason behind Caitlin's suspension, and they say it's based on their zero tolerance policy that ensures every child has a safe learning environment. But for Caitlin's mom, having to explain that to a young child wasn't easy.
I mean, we know why it's bad because we watch the news, but then I have to tell my kid, you're not allowed to play like that at school because, you know, people do bad things to kids your age.
And while Caitlin's mother explains to her daughter what went wrong, she wants school officials to do some explaining of their own.
I just want them to apologize to her and tell her that it's okay. You can be 5 and have an imagination.
Now, I compared Hope County Schools' zero tolerance policy to Cumberland County Schools, and they are similar, except in Cumberland County, it is a Class 2 violation. And for kindergartners, you could still be faced with suspension.
And I could understand in the mindset of people and all the weird amount of school shootings that take place, that it's important to be precautious and make sure that people know what's going on, and people should be concerned and go about it in a realistic manner. But wanting to suspend kids for this and a stick that looks like a gun, I'm losing a little bit of my frontal cortex to understand how could we come to this conclusion, especially when you have examples with all these precautions put in place where you have school shootings happening anyway. So you lose me when you're wanting to suspend people over doing this, or you're wanting to give them a punishment for a stick when you don't even put forth your best effort to stop people who actually show up with guns. But that's beside the point. It is laughable that these kids get put in these scenarios where they feel like they are the problem when they're just being kids, picking up items and using their imagination, using their fingers and using their imaginations. And yes, you could argue, well, it's not safe for them to be doing this. What is dangerous about this unless it goes into another kid's eye? And based on what I've seen, that didn't fucking happen. So I understand, and I could even agree just a little bit that this is all to keep everybody safe and sound and nobody has to worry about anything. But I would ask that these school boards and school systems do a little bit better with actual problems and not just kids being dumbass kids. And with all that being said, I hope these parents don't really have to go through anything of legal process to get their records erased off their kids so that those kids can just grow and be normal, weird, festering little teenagers and then grow up to be adults that don't know how to do taxes because the school system was more focused on them finger banging and not teaching them shit that's actually important. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.